Hello and welcome back to the second week of House Rivalries. I'm your host Delta. With me, I got lovely Paradox, and we're going to guide you through the first match of the evening. So, the first match we have coming up is the Brussels Brawlers versus Amsterdam. It's Totems, and it's going to be a great match going forward here. The bans have been gone through. You want to talk a little bit about the deck list, Paradox?
Yes, so the Dutch and the Belgians are very close in alignment, and apparently they're very close in strategy as well. So they've brought relatively similar lineups. Like we see Warrior on both sides, we see the Questioner on both sides, and then we've got a little bit of a split towards the end. We've got the Mech Hunter from the Dutch, and we see the priest deck that has been tearing through Grandmasters the last couple of weekends, and Zoo Warlock, which is a little bit of a surprise for me. I haven't seen much Zoolock. So fortunately for all the viewers at home, one of the warriors has been banned away from the Dutch, and the Dutch have banned the priest away. So two of the most annoying decks in the game are gone right off the bat. So hopefully this will be a more entertaining series. Not for me, of course. I love Warrior Mirror.
Well, we're a bit on the time issue here, so skipping the Warrior Mirror is always good here. But this is LHS, meaning you play your deck, and if you win, you stay and you eliminate the deck from your opponent. And your goal is to eliminate all the decks from the opposing team. Basically like Pokemon, you just knock each deck out. So it's going to be great to see. Like the strategy has been to bring decks that can basically sweep. And we see we're starting up here now with this Hunter from Amsterdam versus the Brussels Control Warrior. So this Hunter is an interesting thing though, because it's an old deck. We haven't seen it much in Grandmaster. We haven't seen it much after the patch and the nerfs and everything went out. It's basically died a little bit down, but it was a menace like in the previous meta during the whole summer of 2019 with the Mech Hunter just smorking everyone.
Yeah. So the last time I personally saw Mech Hunter, I mean, last time I saw Delta was like last year, but that doesn't matter. The last time I saw Mech Hunter was when a good friend from the UK, Jamboree, managed to qualify for Masters Tour Bucharest at the very last minute with Mech Hunter. They played a very interesting build with 2 copies of a Mortuary Machine, the 5-minute 8/8 that gives all of your opponent's minions reborn when they play them. The Dutch aren't playing that, they're playing a much more standard version, just trying to curve out to the missile launcher. They definitely didn't want to run into the warrior up first because they're not playing very many late game tools. They only have the one, I believe. I'm just going to confirm that to be sure. I believe it's only the one. Oh, sorry, no, it is 2. It's 2 missile launchers, and that's it. That is their top end. So that the Hunter is going to win this game is just by rushing the Belgians down before they can get anything going.
Yeah, because this deck usually can run stuff like Boommaster Flark, the Mechanical Whelps, and you can also run like 9 lives and stuff like that to really grind out warriors. But this deck is just a much more aggressive variant. Just aims to smork down stuff like Rogue and similar decks. Hunter, I guess, as well. It's really good.
Yeah. This curve is actually looking fairly good for the Dutch. So we see turn 3, they've got the Explode there, summon a ton of tokens onto the board, and then they curve that straight into the War Gear, which War Gear historically has been a card that has been very hard for you to deal with since it has that mech tag, so stuff like Dynamatic won't work on it, but Belgians do have that Warpath, so if they decide to go for the Explodinator, they can just go Warpath, coin Warpath, and clear the board. Weapons Project on turn 2 just to make sure that there's just no mechs on board to receive that magnetic buff whatsoever.
Yeah, for Amsterdam here is just trying to curb out as good as possible, trying to starve the Warrior for resources. But Warrior has also gotten stuff like the Restless Mummy that also deals with a lot of these things fairly easy if they so want to. So making it harder to actually stick a mech so you can gain the, let's say, charge effect from the magnetic. But going forward here though, do they really want to spend the coin? That's the question.
They don't necessarily have to. It depends on how much they fear that turn 2 Galvanizer. It was only with 4 cards in the hand, so the chance of getting too many impactful mech minions wasn't exactly high. Though, if they do go for the Restless Mummy, they can hit the Mummy into the 3-2, and then rush it into the 0-2, and then throw the weapon in, and then the board's empty, and it kind of forces the Hunter to throw the weapon into the Mummy rather at the face, so it essentially heals for at least 7 when you think about it, because it's clearing both the Explodinator and all of the bombs, but it looks like instead they're just going to go for the Omega Devastator here, which is a little bit surprising. What do you think about that?
Well, it's a better minute to contest the board, but it doesn't do anything with these bombs. You're basically gambling on Amsterdam not having any sort of possibility to actually just magnetize onto it.
So they're going to be going for the War Gear. So it's 5-7 now. And yeah, just going face, like I said, just making sure they can get this damage through before the warrior can stabilize. And obviously, if the warrior stabilizes, it's just over.
Yeah, and this 5-7 stat line is a bit awkward because you can't really clear it with the board. You need to invest something like the Mummy into it, which makes it. Well, it's still good because you can clear the whole board with the Mummy and the trade-in with the Devastator, but you're still taking a lot of damage, and if you just did the Mummy last turn, you'll be in a much better position at the moment.
Though at the same time, this isn't like a great position for the Belgians now. Like the bomb toss can come out and clear the Mummy, and then you can use Fireworks Tech, so it's a 1-3, and then it's unable to be cleared by that 2-3 weapon. I forget the name of it, but the weapon's Project Weapon. And then you just play the 1-5. And then you're almost guaranteed that the second War Gear next turn is just going to deal a lot of damage as well. And now that the Mummy is gone and the Devastator is gone, got too many ways of being able to deal with a large War Gear, especially without Shieldbot Shield Slam, which is usually the turn 6 answer to War Gear.
Yeah, going into higher mana turn though, so like 5 mana, there's usually not much, like the general thing that warrior slots into the 5 mana to actually clear board is Dynamatic, and that doesn't work obviously versus other decks. So seems like they're going to develop as wide as board as possible here now. Just like even if the Brawl comes down, they will be, unless this Technician survives, they will be in a good position to actually capitalize on it.
And it's also and there's the Brawl, but yeah. What's also very useful about this board is that Warpath doesn't actually clear anything. Like 2 Warpaths doesn't put anything in range. Like you can Warpath once, clear the 2-1, and then you would hit the weapon into the Goblin Bomb, but that's still leaving something else. A clean way of doing this, the cleanest way, and it's really unfortunate that they may have to do this, is just a Brawl. Fireworks Tech survives, but that's only a 33% chance of success. It's not great.
Yeah, the other thing is to just like play out something like a Dynamatic just to kill off the Fireworks Tech and just contest the board. But that's always moving into danger territory for stuff like Missile Launcher or the second War Gear, as we see here. Even Celiax is 3 damage that comes from straight face, and you're already down to 18. So.
Is that not 15? That looks like 15 to me, actually, but...
That looks like 15, yeah, that's true. My screen here is...
So, casters can't count LUL math. Yeah. But nah, it looks like it's just gonna go for the Dynamite. Don't want to go for that 33%, I can respect that. Actually does snipe off the Fireworks Stick, because that is in fact not a mech. It may look like a mech, it may buff mechs, but it's not a mech.
It's just a small dude. Or girl, actually.
Oh, gnome, yeah.
So here we have the opportunity to go with the War Gear. Or the thing is, if you go with the Venomizer and Hero Power, you pushes 1 less damage, but you get to utilize your Hero Power more often. That's something they value going forward. There's also the fact that which minion should you be buff with this war gear if that comes to happen.
Push is fine, and I'd rather push one more than press the button. Especially considering Wargear's damage is like, it's a fairly small window. Like, if you Wargear and it's just like -5 damage, right? Whereas the Venomizer is like -2 damage, but if the missile launcher later on to have a guaranteed board clear. Looks like they're just going to go for Ziliax instead on the upgradable frame bot, which oh no, they're going to do it on the Goblin Bomb, my mistake. And they're actually going to play more for the board. That's interesting. What do you think about that?
Well, it's playing into the thing that they still have a lot of damage coming up, and it sets up like a brawl that would never be good for Brussels. If the brawl comes down now, there will be something left, and then you can push Wargear plus hero power or Wargear by Venomizer for 7, something like for 7 if you want that. So
I wonder if it was worth it from their position to even play around brawl. They didn't see it last turn, and surely if you're from the Dutch's position here, you're thinking, man, instead of brawl, why would you do that? Now, of course, we could see they could possibly have been trying for a snip snap. Snip snap, so even if they go for Wargear, you could clear it. But aside from that, you have to be thinking from the position of the Netherlands that there's just a very limited possibility. That's how I would see it anyway. So, also prefer them just going face, but I can understand their slight hesitation a little bit.
yeah, so going with Snip Snap as well, trying to develop as much board as possible here, but now the opportunity for Amsterdam to develop a lot. This Spider Bomb as well gives them the opportunity to even magnetize further. I would love to see like the Venomizer on the 1/5 just to trade in and then just push 9 face with the Wargear onto the other one.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot as well, because that way
There's no
you're
silence
using all
either.
the
Yeah.
magnetic minions.
Yeah, and there's no
Yeah,
silence.
it's like the only out is brawl.
Yeah, or like Plague of Wrath or something like that. But then they still take 2 damage and
Yeah. They've only used one fireworks tech as well, so I wouldn't mind like saving Spider Bomb as well in this situation. So if they like top deck a fireworks tech, they can just go like Spider Bomb fireworks tech, and they just clears like any big taunt they got from the Frightened Flunky last turn.
yeah, like this Stegodon that you see in hand here.
Yeah. Though Stegatron isn't really that useful because there's still the Venomizer that's being played right now. That was pretty much always being played and just clear instantly. Spider Bomb.
Yeah, with the Spider Bomb to weave in a hero power here. Just to basically save this Wargear for the last burst of lethal. As long as one of these minions survive, you have lethal coming up. But
I wonder, I'm just trying to think if Wargear would have done that anyway, though.
it would, because you can then attach Spider Bomb. But they might also want to have the Spider Bomb in play in case something, like if a brawl happens now, it will kill off one of the 1/1s. And brawl
So
comes
assuming
down.
what... Let's see what happens. Okay, board is fully cleared. I guess it's also because the Wargear is a slightly better body to have in this circumstance.
Yeah, just to play right now, you mean? Yeah, because it's harder to remove. The thing is, you're kind of stuck in a hard place at the moment because turn 8 you can, or in the coming turns, they can actually start building up quite a sizable taunt wall with the Tomb Wardens, and of course the Stegadron, as you see here, being picked up, which makes it really hard for Amsterdam to actually connect more to face.
Like they're at 6. Okay, so they're at 6, and then the Hunter Hero Power puts them to 4. And so they're at 4. And then Hunter Hero Power next turn, so they're down to 2. So they can't play 2 more again until turn 10. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe there's 2 Bomb Toss. I'm just going to confirm this now. It's 2 Bomb Toss, so if the Dutch draw bomb toss, next turn or the turn afterwards potentially, they can still have lethal. I also don't mind this use of the 3-1 here because it sort of disincentivizes 2-1. And then you can just walk it, then you just clear one of them automatically.
Yeah. This as well, though, like you want to put up a taunt because, well, as we see, also the list runs stuff like Leroy, which is able to finish off this game really fast now. And you also want to trade out this 3-1, and you can do that with a Warpath, but then you're stuck using 4 mana for that. So what do you spend the remaining 4 mana? And it seems like Shield Block is the
Have a
go-to.
shield block, put you out of range of stuff like Leroy, and then warp up to clear the board. You're at 11. Leroy's not killing you. And
Like
with another shield block, I think this is over. I think the Belgians have done it.
Depending what they pick up out of Venomizer isn't big enough to actually contest anything. This needed to be stuff like the Explodinator would be good, just because of the fact that it always does 4 damage. Something like a Ursatron, just to put something on board that gives you card draw. Yeah, it seems like lack of stuff.
You say that, but if they top deck, then they can just go like Wargear this turn and then go Venomize Missile, launch a hero power. We've already seen the Devastator be gone, so it's not that many things, especially when one shield block is gone already, that can actually deal with it. Yeah, just gonna preemptively apply the Venomizer now, just saying, okay, you can't deal with this.
Well, there's the Mummy, they can deal with it, but then you take 7 and you're dead. But you can use it with Mummy and Warpath if you so want to, but really puts it
you open. Yeah, it does leave you open to possibilities. Looks like just gonna shield block and then Stegatron maybe?
Oh, it seems like they doing the Mummy. This leaves you...
Yeah, and then just warp off at the end, I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, Leroy can't kill them, yeah.
And then next turn is...
Yeah, they haven't used Zillions yet, have they? From
No. Oh, the Snip Snap is huge here, though. You know there's no silence, so you can build a tall Snip Snap if you want to, which might be good. I might think...
you can also go wide.
I think magnetizing 1 and then having 1 extra is probably the best, instead of going triple. Well, you seem double Warpath, so you can actually go triple, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't really mind either way, honestly. Prioritize more.
Yeah, this makes it worse.
They see the shield slap now, so if they did go with the tall one, it would have just gotten cleared off right away.
Yeah, this is better versus... Like, this is worse versus Tombwarden, but it's better versus Shield Slam. That's basically the gist of it. And Brussels now clawing their back into the game here now, up to 14 health here.
And it's about to get much worse next turn because we've seen both of the Restless Mummies be drawn already, which means Town Crier is 100% guaranteed to pick up the Zilliax.
Which basically
you
makes...
can magnetize it onto the Tomb one. And then you've got a 6/8 taunt with Lifesteal that's clearing one of these minions. This is not going to be pretty.
Yeah, the only way out is to get Venomizer from Ursatron and then get...
Venomizers though, they don't have any more.
Well, they use both, yeah. So you need a...
They're just dead. If Zilliax comes down this turn, there's just no way.
Oh, they can... Let's see, they get... Spider Bomb from Ursatron, and then they top deck the Fireworks deck, I guess.
I don't know. Well, let's see. Going for the Devastator. Let's see what it gets. So if you get Spider Bomb, you might be right. Oh no, there's no Ursatron. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're done. Top deck Spider Bomb into a miracle happens. I don't see any way that the Dutch are coming back into this one. Close though, a lot closer than I thought they were going to, honestly, but...
Yeah, I think...
Fire on through, and wow! It was so close to being right! Wow.
They're still up to 18 health though, which is dangerous.
They still technically have one more shot. Ah, never mind. Yeah. Nah, it's just over. Yeah. They they realized it too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I think holding the war gear for so long kind of made it worse for them. Like the turns they decided to not play war gear to ease out a few extra hero powers. Like it was a decent play then and there, but it basically sealed the deal because it didn't get a big enough minion to get out of every range of everything.
Though I was gonna say, the second point where they had the opportunity to use war gear wouldn't have mattered that much because of Brawl. It would have pushed one more damage.
Yeah.
So it really was the first point where they decided to not go for war gear that I disagree with.
There was also
I don't think it
the
mattered really.
there was also the play with when they went for the replicating menace over the war gear and got instantly punished by the second warpath, which is always
It's a
bad.
bit- Yeah, in my mind, it was a pretty specific combination that punished them there, though. But yeah, anyway, we're gonna move on. It's gonna be the Druid versus the Warrior now, the dreaded matchup I said at the start of all this. What's in this matchup?
So let's see. Amsterdam's Druid runs the Chef Nomi package with the Elise and the Floop. So it's going to be they're going to deck out. They only run one Innovate though, but and instead swapped in a Power of the Wild to basically have a bit more like a mid game staying power.
A bit more tempo, yeah.
Yeah. But in this matchup, you basically have all the time in the world to do whatever you want.
True, there are no bombs, which has historically been the big enemy of Chef Nomi. It's like you can summon all the 6/6s you want unless you get blown up by bombs, but and the Druid did start on the coin, which means they are able to complete the quest one turn earlier if they so choose. Along with the merchant.
And seeing as they keep the Oasis Surger, I think that's the plan. Basically, just have a 2/5/5s on turn 5.
It's a pretty good plan.
Yeah.
The only issue sorry?
The Warrior has a good opening hand with double Frightening Flunky as well. Could actually put on some pressure.
Of what do you think the Warrior's role in the matchup is? Do you think you need to go for that pressure? Obviously, I think you go for the flunkies early anyway, but that point where you decide that you don't need the what's it called? You don't need to control the game. You just need to kill the Druid. Like, where would you place that role?
Like, it depends. Like in this kind of deck, which is much more heavily controlled, your role is basically to survive as long as possible. And like, if you have both brawls available for when they start gnoming, and you can just build up a board after the brawl, like let's say a brawl and Mega Devastator, you can actually start to push them into fatigue range where they take a lot of damage. Because if the Druid can do whatever they want, they basically have unlimited gnomies. So they have like can get like 6 or something like crazy like that without an issue.
I was gonna say, so you play Elise, so you copy twice, so you get 2 Nomis, and then you could like floop Elise, so you get like 4 Nomis extra or something like that. I'm not
and
actually
2 extra
sure
flow.
how it works.
Yeah, and then they get 2 extra
And this
floops
kind
as
of
well.
thing, yeah. And then the flute would copy Elise. So technically, if I'm not mistaken, you could theoretically go infinite if you have enough time.
What now?
If I'm not mistaken, I very well could be, but I think the Druid, like, given enough time, which I'm pretty sure the Warrior won't give, the Druid could theoretically get like 7+ Nomis. I think. Don't quote me on that, guys.
But look at this Hecklebot pickup though. That's gonna be huge though. If that pulls one of the big cards like Nomi or Floop, that's gonna seal the deal for all
or Elise, yeah.
Yeah, or Elise, yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. And that's probably why the Belgians picked it. They're like, huh, all of these cards have really insane battle cries. Let's just get one of them. I mean, even Oasis Surger is only a 3/3. Like,
yeah,
Rush,
Scenarios is huge, Nomi is huge, Elise is huge. Even War Druid
But they can't really get
is pretty
scenarios
good.
while it's in their hand, unfortunately.
No, of course not. But they don't know that. They like
Yeah.
hedging their bets, basically.
I don't think they would want scenarios on turn 4 of the game, though, if we're being honest.
That's true.
Yeah, 5-8 on turn 4? That's pretty scary.
Now they got the draw though. They got the weapons project into the Harrison, which is basically giving them all the card draw they need.
Yeah, it's just a little bit unfortunate that it cost them one of their flunkies, but a flunky for a 3-2 is a very good deal. I very much doubt that the Belgians are complaining at that one.
That's a pretty sweet deal. So Ferocious
Yeah.
Howl versus Merchant. Merchant saves you 4 HP. Ferocious Howl gives you some extra armor. So they're basically the same there.
But how now, right? Because you can play Merchant behind a couple of taunts and then it might draw you 2 cards.
Yeah.
Whereas the Howl is like always going to draw you the 1. And it's also more mana efficient for the quest anyway.
Yep.
And it also doesn't leave minions on the board for the weapons project to get value, which is also pretty important.
Sounds like a good plan here. So 2 cards can be drawn now with the from the weapons project.
The Harrison Jones. I like this because you are most likely going to curve into the Armadillo on 6, and just obviously picking up 2 means you're more likely to pick up these big taunt minions that then make Armadillo even more powerful. But
yeah, currently you only have 2 taunts in hand, and it's not. You don't have 2 Mordens, which is what you want in this matchup, I guess. This is a good like Dynamatic turn as well. It's very rarely you get like tons of value from Dynamatic because either there's nothing on board or there's like a million stats. So
but also Town Cry to try to fish out Mummy or Zilios. I mean, you're probably going to do that this turn anyway. It's just whether or not you think there is higher potential, but they probably agree with you. They think, no, they're probably just going to have a ton of stats. Yeah, just get out of the way now.
yeah, we see though the Nourish on curve into the Anubis Defender, and probably you can also. You can plop down the Merchant, but then you don't draw a card, so.
And we see almost all of the big endgame cards have been drawn at this point. Like, Nomi's been drawn, Elise has been drawn, Floop has been drawn. There's not very many like minions in the Druid deck that Hecklebot is actually getting at this point, unfortunately.
It's Zephyrs, of course.
Who has passed.
It's Zephyr, the...
Right.
An Oasis Surger, and the second Anubis Defender, yeah.
You want the 3/5 taunt, that's not great. Kind of want to make them work for that one, costing 0 mana. The Armadillo coming down with the Town Cry first, obviously, to guarantee that you're getting Ziliax to be a 5/4, which is very, very impactful.
And Amsterdam doesn't have any board clears in hand, though. They have the Lodi, which it can just rush in, which it probably have to.
I was about to say, they now have Keeper of the Grove, which can silence the Armadillo, which means that it's not applying any more of those buffs, but just receiving all that pressure. Common board clear I've seen from this Druid deck has usually just been Wardred Loti and then Starfall.
Yeah.
But no Starfalls have been picked up yet, so not of any swipes now that I think about it, or any wraths. The Druids just mostly been drawing minions this game.
All the minions. And there's not that many minions in the deck, so... Yeah, Bees coming down.
Now, are they going to use the Watery Loti? Do have a second one that they did get from that Worthy Expedition, so it looks like they are. Just get rid of the taunt now. Just kind of sucks that Watery Loti was only able to clear a 4/7, like only.
Yeah, and still surviving through everything. Just the power of the Wardrobe Lodi here. But for the Warrior now, though, you have the Shield Slam, so you know you can, if you want to play the Hecklebot, you can Hecklebot and then shield block and then shield slam, and most likely kill everything except scenarios. And scenarios you
Also,
can kill with one of the town criers if you want. So
yeah. You also know that your opponent's your opponent's Wardrobe Loti has also been used, which makes it a little bit more likely that the Hecklebot is going to survive unless they have Floop, or as the cast division can show us, or if there's a second Wardrobe Loti, which is obviously something that the Belgians weren't really going to be thinking about too much.
yeah, you're not gonna play around the second one from the expedition at all. That's just how it is. But pulling out the Oasis Searcher, which was this was a 33% to actually hit the Zephyrs now, which is would be being great. But
Yeah. This does make Restless Mummy quite a lot better though, clear the Wardrobe Loti and the Oasis Surger. Like
yeah,
fully clearing the board even. Not bad. Not bad at all.
and there's the Zephyrs.
Oh, and speak of the devil.
So what needs to be deactivated? It's double swipe is still in the deck. Double Starfall is still in the deck.
Double Wrath is still in the deck.
And Hidden Oasis is still in the deck. Double.
Yeah, so quite a lot of duplicates basically.
Yeah. But you're in no hurry as the druid at the moment. There's almost no pressure. Like this 5/10, yes, of course, it represents some pressure, but it's not that bad. Especially when you can just build a scenarios this turn if you want.
I'm
Or
not
a
sure it
Wardrobe
would
Loti.
build scenarios this turn though. Like half of it just dies to the 5/10. I'd almost feel better using Keeper of the Grove, honestly. Though they might be saving Keeper of the Grove for like something bigger.
Yeah, like
Like,
the
if,
magnetized celiac stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they did see 2 Town Criers come down before Armageddon, so the chances of Ziliax getting buffed in their mind is relatively high. It would be very unlikely for it not to be buffed, so...
And here we see another
appreciate
silence target here. Snip Snap coming into hand, and you can just buff up this Hecklebot to insane heights if you want. And there is no form of silence in the deck, like by basic.
Pretty much is just Worthy Expedition out X that can stop a giant magnetic mech. If they would go for Snip Snap here, I would rather them have gone like 1 on Hecklebot maybe, and then like a separate one, so you have like a 4/6 and a 7/13. They obviously didn't do that though. They went for Shield Block, which is something I can appreciate. Probably just gonna get down the what's it called? The Safeguard. Yeah, I believe that's what it's called.
Yeah, that's a
Has
big
the
safeguard
buff
as
on it,
well.
so it would be a 6/7, which does contest the board fairly nicely.
Yeah,
It
it's
does
basically-
lead into
Ooh, going with the Celiacs here instead to be able to... Yeah, basically to be able to push some damage.
yeah. I don't mind this either. Even from the Belgians' position, they're like, yeah, no, we can't beat 4 Nomis. not gonna try that. Just gonna kill them instead, which I can respect. They are running out of pressure though, especially once Keeper of the Grove comes down.
Yeah, but they have the Omega Assembly and they have a Omega Devastator as well in hand, which is able to basically shut down any form of development next turn.
The only issue is once that Omega Assembly has come down, that's pretty much all the mechs that we're going to be seeing out of the Druid for a while. Decide to Keeper of the Grove on Ziliax. Ooh, okay. Loti to clear the 5/10, so they're basically just saying, yeah, Warrior's never gonna get a giant magnetic mech. We can afford to use these resources now.
Yeah, and building up their own board instead, basically. With this quite huge board they have there. I think that was a bit of an ordering thingy because I would like them to actually do the merchant before the Lodi, just in case they wanted a second Lodi for lethal to get through taunts or something like that. But
I agree with that. This turn might also have been just to develop that Crystal Merchant and try to get it to stick, because it's been in the hand since turn 2. The Druid just wants to get through their deck as quickly as possible to get to these absolutely crazy endgame turns. Like, there's even 2 Zephyrs now because of Elysian Lions, so Yeah, the end game for the Druid is definitely going to be the scariest part of this game.
Yeah, coming down now though is the safeguard. That means they've seen all the taunts that got buffed by Armadillo, so they don't know that of course, but they know there's been 3. So
At best, they're like, okay, maybe there's like 1 tomb one, maybe. If they've been hand tracking really well, they will know there's 0, but like how well they would be doing that. I hope they would be. That would be nice. I think
yeah.
Starfall plus Wrath clears the board. That's really good.
Oh yeah, with the
Say
end
that,
of
it leaves the 0-2 taunt, but it mostly clears the board. They obviously don't know snip stats there, that's just going to make the 0-2 a pretty big issue, but you can hope.
can live with that. Yeah, now they only need the one of the hidden oasis is needed to actually activate these Elise and the Zephyrs, and dumping stuff out of hand as well is really good for exactly this purpose, because well, you want only to copy the really important cards like Nomi, Flute, Zephyrs. That's like the 3 cards you want to copy.
And the question is, how will the Warrior continue to apply pressure? Because that seems to be what they've been going for this game. They seem to be going for the pressure strat rather than the outlast strat, at least as far as I can tell so far. As Brussels here, I would probably just go for the snip snap now, just to get some use out of this 0-2 taunt, because otherwise it's just like, it's a free kill for the Druid, and you don't really want to give your opponent freebies if you can help it. And those are some very good mechs. Wargear, Clockwork Goblin, and the Coppertail Imposter.
Yeah, that's our
Very useful.
prime max for when actually, like, if you can manage to get to an armor total where you actually can take one turn of Nomis, you can just stealth, have something stealthy, and then just buff it up next turn, for instance. But they're going to use it now instead to just apply pressure before the Nomis come down.
I very much disagree with this line. It's correct. I think Snip Snap was better because what Brussels could do right when the deck was empty is on the first turn of Nomi, you can go Brawl into Coppertail Imposter, so then they only have a 6/6 left. Following turn, you can then go Wargear plus Clockwork Goblin, so then that's pushing a 14 damage.
Yeah.
It's a 14 when they go for the first Nomi, they're basically done. First Nomi, you're just going to start the chain. You're never going to stop at that point in the game unless you have like 4 6/6s or something, then you stop. But normally, once the Nomi train starts coming, you just want to put them down every single turn, because free turn, they're just going to stabilize, and then you're just going to die in fatigue.
Yeah. 2 more
Not
coming
off
down.
that. So, went for the Tomb 1 there, just I wonder what they're waiting for this Snip Snap. Why do you think they're holding onto it so much?
Maybe if they manage to stick a mech after Brawl, and then just push 6 extra damage then, but then they, yeah, I guess. I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah, as I say, if you want a mech to stick post Brawl, then surely the mech that comes in with stealth would have been your best bet.
Yep.
Greater minds than me are at work in this game, I can only imagine, since I'm the one on the desk.
So they try to jump their hand a little bit here now for Amsterdam, because they got like all the key cards they want. It's not
The
much.
debate.
Yeah, they're debating to swipe this Coppertail, or they're swiping one of the Tomb Wardens to clear.
What do you value more? Do you value the higher attack, or do you value the taunt? It looks like the value of the taunt more, just getting rid of that. Now, as I was saying, this should be the turn where Snip Snap comes down. Like, perfect Snip Snap turn. Yeah, I don't know what would have been better than this.
Yeah, you've seen 2 swipes, you've seen 1 starfall, so you know that the stuff that comes out of the snip snap will probably be able to get through or stick from the board and do some damage as well. Just
Exactly.
punch through here. 6 damage to face and basically say respond to this. Not the Crystal Merchant. There's not many cards left now in the Amsterdam Totems deck either, so you need to start setting up this Elise as soon as possible.
Could go for it this turn. Like, what else are you really looking for? Like, as the druid, you already have pretty much everything you could want. So, Elise into Zephyr's Shadow of Death to clear one of the big mech minions. Can you save Zephyr's the Great theoretically before you get overrun?
The problem with this though is that you can't copy anymore because now it's not the lease anymore from the hand, but
It
Sap.
doesn't give them Shadow of Death, huh?
Sap is. Yeah, I would think it would give.
Bad either. I guess it's because Zephyr's the Great, the mechs that come off are like more valuable than just sapping. I'm not quite sure how that logic works, but okay.
Yeah, Zephyr's the Great has some weird stuff like death rattles that they prefer, stuff like Sap, or like polymorph over death or stuff like that. But since the mana was restricted to 3, I guess the Zephyrs thought, well, then you will only get Sap instead.
Yeah, this
This
is where
means they
the
can play Tomb Warden though, again if they want.
great Reddit meme comes up where it's like, why did they nerf Hex to 4 mana? It should have remained at 3 mana. If it was 3 mana, then you could have just hexed it instead of sapping it, but oh well. Maybe Blizzard were like playing a 60 chess by nerfing Hex 2 years in advance, just so Zephyr's the Great.
We see the pressure here now though, pushing the Druid down to 16, but they got the Hidden Oasis to get them back up if they want to, but they need to answer this board as well, so there's
Time
no
for
easy way to
Zephyr's
do it.
2 Electric Boogaloo. But you want the Zephyrs to clear the board as the Druid. You want to use it to be aggressive, really, if you can help it.
Yeah.
Second Hidden Oasis from Elise, so they can heal up 12 one more time. Anyways, there's no real good follow-up. Like, you can Zephyrs for Eviscerate, maybe? Not great. But I guess that's what they're going for. Oh, Betrayal's not bad. I didn't think about that. Good job, Zephyrs. You've redeemed yourself. Good job. Better than Eviscerate.
Oh, there's Dr. Boom though. This means you get enough armor to shield slam that 6/6 and can go straight face again.
Move them down to 22. It could possibly delay the Nomi by 1 turn.
Also getting the Dr. Boom effect active as well is important. So you actually have stuff like picking up mechs, which could be important. Getting extra armor is important. As we see there, Blast Shield.
Yeah, Blast Shield is very important. To a slight downside of this end game where you have cards like Wrath, which force you to draw a card, which is something you definitely don't want to be doing while in fatigue. Almost at any other point did you afford to clear this mech, but not really now, unfortunately. I might go for it anyway, though, just to make sure be answered as easily.
Yeah, because the problem now is that if they drop Nomi and don't Wrath, they will just hit face Brawl and then there will be tons of 1/1s.
Yeah,
you can of course
another Brawl.
Yeah.
Same
can,
time,
of course, yeah.
if you Wrath now, you're also leaving Zephyrs up, which is also a bad Brawl target. So it's sort of like you'll get like your first Nomi is worse, but your later Nomi's better. That's what this line indicates to me.
Starts the fatigue clock though.
So here we go. Here's the first Nomi, and it looks like it's going to be 4 this game. And the warrior only has 2 rules, so one of these Nomis will hopefully stick.
So
No.
you always hit face and brawl here. There's
Yeah,
like
for sure. So they take 2 fatigue, so they're down to 18, so they can go Hidden Oasis Nomi next turn. And they have a full board again.
oh.
And
Zephyr's
Zephyr's
survived.
on the brawl.
No tomb can hold me.
Ah! That...
No tomb can hold me.
I think 7 armor was better there, honestly.
7 armor was a lot better there, I think, because it will basically give you the opportunity to, yeah, basically tank a full Nomi board.
Like,
See.
you heal 4 more than Zephyr's would deal, and you get a better brawl next turn. Thinking as to why I would have left Zephyr's up at that point. This does leave the possibility of Reckless Mummy surviving the brawl, though.
Ooh, that's a good pickup though.
Wrath with the hero power on the one turn that hero power would be useful. That is huge.
Kills the mummy as well, but yeah.
Right,
Now comes the-
here we go, Nomi number 3.
The fatigue is starting
you
to
want
rack
to
up
save
though.
the 7. Yeah, 7 mana. Actually, huh.
You want to play the 7 mana now because
7 mana now, yeah, because you want to go 4 mana Starfall. Yeah, that makes sense. Do you hear something burning? They can tank 1 Nomi round, but the Druid has enough health to where they're not just gonna die after swinging once with a Nomi board.
yeah, so the brawl is coming out.
I believe this is the last clear. I'm just going to check on that.
Yeah, they don't have
Yeah,
a.
they only play
have-
one Plague of Wrath, so yeah, this will be the last clear. So yeah, the warrior can't deal with the 4th Nomi. Unless I get some really crazy things next turn that I'm not thinking about. This is the end.
Do you smell something burning?
Here comes the 4th Nomi.
Okay, and Eternity Rover's not gonna do it. They have 1 more turn before the Greasefire Elemental's just gonna overrun them. Use try to bank on Warpath being enough, but I don't think that's going to be the case.
Okay then.
I'm thinking if you Warpath this turn and you just hope you get the explosive, the 1 damage next turn.
Huh.
I think that's the play,
That
basically.
looks like yeah, that looks like that's what they're going for. It does hero power, because that clears off the most amount of stuff. So you do this now. There's 5 Greasefire Elementals in play.
630. Then you just hope
You
you
pay
hit.
6.
You hope you hit. You have 1 dynamatic left, which you can hit, I think. And then you have the hero power, but they hit
Alright,
that.
let's find out. If 5 of them this turn. 5 of them. Clear the 6th one though. Though maybe they don't need to. Don't need to. If they go, wait, no, yes they do, because the weapons project gives them the weapon. Yeah. So they can clear 5 of them, but need to clear 6 somehow. I'm not quite sure how the warrior can do that. At the moment, they're just considering whether or not they go for a crystal merchant, which I'm pretty sure you don't do.
You draw a card. Like the crystal merchant protects them from stuff like dynamatic.
Waits for no one.
That is true. That is true. Like 3 fatigue, right? So they would take 4 and then 5 for turn, so they take 9 damage. So be at 8 health. That's reasonable.
So what we need now is they only run 1 Omega assembly, so they can't really get
Here we
like.
go.
something crazy.
Can they clear? It's the last opportunity. An Omega Devastator is enough to clear the whole board. All of the Grease Fire Elementals.
So you hero power, you run in, you kill one with Omega Devastator, you clear the other one with Omega Devastator, and you run in a Eternium Roper as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is
So yeah, the board's fully done. And that's it. The Druid, even with 4 Normies, was unable to finish off the work. Yeah.
I can see.
Really unfortunate loss for the Dutch.
damn. That was some excellent play there, and they also took the risk there. They had 2 hero powers that would actually help them out, and one was the basically 1 damage to everything, the Kaboom one, and the other one was microbots. If they got anything else, they were most likely out of it. Well, maybe mech discovery could give you spring rocket would help. No, it wouldn't be enough. It had to be exactly dynamatic then.
They took 6 extra damage, so they had extra chances from the Doctor Boom to clear the board. That was very well played.
Very well played, yeah.
So we're moving on now to the third. Let's say the third deck, which I believe at this point is the. Yeah.
Yeah,
This
is
is
going to be rough.
I will fight
currently it's
with honor.
not been a great matchup for Paladin.
But yeah, the thing is, if you hit all your card draw, and the warrior doesn't hit their armor cards, you can do the 50 damage plus extra with Wild Pyromancer. Now with the Zephyrs.
But
so,
Zephyr's the great. I mean, they're both 2 mana 3/2s. They're interchangeable, right? It's fine.
yeah,
Yeah.
about the same power level.
It depends on
Like
who you are.
as a single card, both of them are just 2 mana 3/2s. So
Hey, Bloodfin Raptors are 2 mana 3/2.
and it's Beast as well. Holy smokes!
Gets picked up by Master's Core. Got that next level tech right there.
Yeah, synergizes with Handmaster. Why aren't more people running the Bloodfin Raptor?
Who knows? What I do know is that this opener from the Belgians is looking really, really good.
Yeah,
Got
like
Town
everything.
on 1, got the Flunky on 2, got Weapons Project, got Ziliax, who is incredibly useful in the end game. Like, this hand is really good.
His hand is really good, yeah. Just the juice. So how much do you want to kill this? That's the thing. Do you just want a weapons project? No. Flunky is more than enough.
You don't need to kill it because it's not healing you for anything.
That's a spicy card there though.
Yeah, especially with Ziliax. But yeah, the most important thing about all of this is that Christology wasn't picked up.
Yeah.
You're just
Solely
seeing all these
effective.
weak turns with Crystals of Kangor and Acolyte of Pain. They would have much preferred going for Christology on 1 compared to this.
Yeah, like a 3 mana, maybe draw 3 cards, most likely draw 2, or 1 mana draw 2 every time. Of course you play the 1 mana one.
Turns out it's going to be a 3 mana draw 1 card because the Restless Mummy's going to come in and just absolutely ruin their dreams.
Like Restless Mummy do.
Maybe they're debating it. It's like, if you're going to coin the mummy, you got to commit.
It's like, oh, we're gonna coin Omega Devastator.
Yeah. I mean, they coined the Restless Mummy and then they considered it. It's like, that's why the timer's there, so you don't have to just slam these plays. First time I've seen them just slam it and they just be like, oh, did we mean to do that? Yeah. So...
Might be some discussions going behind the scenes. Oh, that's a good pickup for the Baleful Banker as well, giving it down to 1 mana, basically giving you more options for more damage on from setters and stuff like that.
This is very interesting. They seem to be avoiding going for armor. Like, it just seems to be going for pressure instead.
Yeah, just instead of armoring out of range, just kill the warrior. Easy peasy. Oh, there. This is a good.
Kill the paladin there. Kill the paladin there.
Yeah, kill the paladin.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure they don't want to kill themselves. That would be a bad thing. But yeah, no, we do
I think
see.
they have like tons of armor as well, just in hand. So just continue this pressure. Dynamatic. There's not much you want to dynamatic anyways in this matchup. So continue on with pressure, pushing extra damage.
And once you've started a game plan, you better commit to it. Otherwise, that's definitely a mistake more than me just going on tangents all the time. But fairly a bad thing to go for pressure when your hand just doesn't have much in the way of armor gain. It's just minions on curve pretty much for the warrior. A little bit more closely.
Yeah, Amsterdam has that different approach though. They want to go straight to the dome here, at least what they're signaling. And I think that's the correct way of doing this now. Just like, well, this pressure, either we manage to clear it off or we don't. But we need to keep this health low. And unless Celiax comes down, we have the opportunity to do it now before all the taunts. Just hit this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, sort of acknowledging their role in the matchup a bit more. It's like, yeah, like warrior can just stabilize out of range. We gotta kill him. And it turns out that yeah, just going face and the paladin just not drawing board clears is a pretty good way to win the matchup.
That's true.
Normally go about it, but hey, it works.
Yeah, and Bristol has a few options here though going forward. They can of course just opt for the best one and just develop as much as possible.
You are
Seemingly
running into Shrink Ray at this point. Though Shrink Ray didn't come down last turn. I'm just gonna play it a little bit safe now, yeah, just weapons project to say, yeah, I don't want to take 4 more damage. Just give me this weapon instead, it's fine.
yeah, basically negating it. Oh, and starting to armoring up as well here now because they recognizing the offensive that Amsterdam is putting out.
Yeah, I mean they're also pushing at least 7 with this, so it's not exactly like they're losing pressure. It's just they're trying to say, yeah, we've applied enough pressure now. Now we're just gonna slow it down a little bit. And there's the second True Silver, which lines right up with the second weapons project. So
yeah, but I don't think Amsterdam want to equip that second True Silver yet. They want to just use this weapon because that's 6 damage that they don't get back if they equip this True Silver now. They need every ounce of damage that they can get their hands on.
yeah, they also need a board clear because at the moment they're still taking 7 per turn and they don't have a timeout. And Kangle's gone as well, which means Flash of Light is only healing for 4, so
Yeah.
could just be their undoing at this point, depending on what this Prismatic Lens or other card draw cards gets them.
Like they got a couple more. They got like 3 turns. Oh, the clock is. So it's actually 9 damage showing. It's 2 turns. It just
Oh,
concedes.
Concede. Wow.
Wow. Well, quick match-ish. We knew that the Druid and Warrior matchup will go long, but this Warrior just sweeping up and cleaning table. Just like that's the possibility of the Warrior. And we said it that they had a decent draw, but they didn't have like the insane nutty draw. So
Yeah, just managed to hit like a few good matchups there, especially with that opening one with the Hunter.
Yeah.
It kind of all went downhill. Like the main sticking point of that was the end game of clearing those 4 Nomis. I think like once the 4 Nomi board was gone, the warrior had like very little chance of getting reverse swept at that point.
yeah, it's basically the Druid was the only hope they had to actually wrestle this back from the Warrior. But that was it for Amsterdam and Brussels, and Yeah, well, the war is just sweeping everything as we know it. But that's not it for everything for us, because we have one more match coming up after this, and it's going to be Necra and someone else guiding you through that one. But before we take a short break, I will just have a small shout out to our sponsors. Paradox, I've seen you been getting in a bit of shape. Have you been using the new fitness center called 24 Hour Fitness, which is our sponsor, of course?
They have not, because I am not from the US, but
No,
I'm
but
pretty
if
sure
you're
many
in,
US viewers do very much wish to use 24-hour fitness center. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about this wonderful service?
yeah, so 24 Hour Fitness is a US based fitness center that's open 24 hours, is as in the name. They have tons of different studio equipment, classes and pools, cardio equipment, over 436 locations spread out in tons of states in the US. So just check out the website, the link below, and just check out if you have a 24-hour fitness close by. Also, at the moment, you can get a free 3-day pass to just test out the equipment, check if it's something for you, and maybe you can get your esport game a little bit higher. The second sponsor we have is GameStop, and yeah, you probably know a little bit more about GameStop, Paradox.
Well, the brand of games that I know in the UK is it's just called Game, because England is not exactly the most original place, but GameStop is obviously one of the biggest gaming brands in the US. It's been around for years, and like obviously I'm not American, but I know that Game in the UK has been supporting my gaming needs and addictions for many years now. So I'm sure GameStop is just the same in the US.
Yeah, so GameStop's new program basically that they're launching now is called the Power Up Rewards program. That's a subscription program. You pay $15.99 for 1 year, and you earn points. You get discounts for everything you spend at GameStop. So if you like a lot of games or want gaming equipment or stuff like merch for your favorite esport team, you have an opportunity to buy that straight up GameStop and get rewards over and over again. So last but not least, we have our own sponsor, that the closest one, the Matcherino, which is basically, as I've been saying, Kickstarter for tournaments and events, where you as a user or viewer could basically donate money to fund stuff like prize pool, caster salaries, and building up big events. And if you want to have more esport events, just like house rivalries in the future, you have to check out Matcherino to see if there's anything close by or online that you want to support. So that was it for me, Paradox. Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I also believe that you can put in Matcherino points for free. Whoa, free value!
Wow.
As I say, I love my free value. And obviously on Matcherino, you can put in all of the stuff that I was saying, and obviously, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, if you log in with your Twitch account, you can get free stuff. I cannot confirm that, so please don't tell me if I am wrong. But I do know you can get stuff for free on Matcherino, so it's definitely worth checking out.
So exclamation mark donate in the chat now. You will see, you will get a link for everything that you can do with Matcherino connected up to House Rivalries. But that was it for us now, and we'll have a short break and be back with more Hearthstone.
Hmm.
We'll see how that goes. But either way, we're with Necra. How you doing, Necra?
I'm doing great, and I'm even doing even better knowing that I got a little bit of an extra birthday present as both teams banned the Warriors.
Yes.
So, good for us as casters, good for you guys that are viewing at home, but I think it's going to be an amazing set. I mean, you mentioned this before, but last week for week 1 of the House Rivalries Nations Division, both of the teams that we're going to be seeing had a tough road. They had a 5-game set, and neither of them were victorious in that. So both teams really looking for a win here today.
Yeah, both are looking for a win, maybe even the 3-0, because they want to get dinner just like you and I. So we'll see what happens here. It is going to... While I get the players to set up and get ready to go, why don't you talk about the decks that we should be seeing and what maybe we could see in the first queue order?
All right, that's a great idea. So let's talk about what London Quick Draws is running. I got a chance to cast them last week, and they made a couple of changes since then. The biggest change is that they swapped out their Highlander Hunter for a Murloc Paladin. So going a little bit more on the aggressive side, they're going to be completing their lineup along with a Quest Shaman and a Miracle Rogue. So definitely looking to take some early wins, maybe cheese something out there with the Murloc Paladin. But on the other side of Oslo Knights, they're also running some very, very Smork heavy decks. You've got Combo Priest, Zulok, and Quest Shaman as well. So maybe we'll see a Quest Shaman here. But I think that if I were Oslo, I would wait to keep that Combo Priest until they are going to be facing up against the problem children that London Quick Draws wants to bring to this set. And that problem child really might be that Miracle Rogue. And I think a Combo Priest would do a really good job of maybe getting to those pieces first. But I don't know. In this meta, when you have such aggressive decks, it is hard to tell sometimes who's going to be favored in a matchup and what people might want to run, because you can always get a win if the cards are in your favor.
Yeah, and also you have a lot of people with conflicting thoughts, potentially just kind of getting ready to, just say that this is more value than the other thing that's going to get you in the long run. But we'll wait and see what happens. We're about to get into this as we're loading up here. And we're about to just ask for an invite to spec, but it looks like it is going to be the Miracle Rogue versus the Zoo Warlock, and this is going to be interesting to see as we're going to go ahead and just throw it over to the share screen so our friend Necra can see about this. And we're going to go ahead and see. Here we go. Okay, cool. Spectate's on. We're good. All right. And off the bat, already seeing a pretty heavy hand from both sides. While the double knife juggler looks pretty good in a lot of theories of just like you're going to be summoning a lot of stuff, may as well just have that in hand. You do like to have that curve of at least 1 mana minion, so they might toss in one juggler or keep both. We do see a heavy toss out as given. It was weapons and spells, not really much, Rogue, much like the Zoo Warlock, wants to get a good board presence. And already right off the bat, both are getting rewarded. Pretty okay curve from both sides, especially with that coin coming into play.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about London's choice, though, to bring the Miracle Rogue first. I think it is going to be really difficult when the other team in Oslo Knights is going to play so fast to really get this combination off and get it to work. So I think trying to cheek out a win here with the Miracle Rogue is going to be a great spot for London to be in. But they do have a little bit of trouble to face up against. It's a perfect curve coming out from Oslo Knights.
It is a perfect curve indeed. The only thing that would make it better is just keeping that Evil Genius that they have, because they have the Serpent Egg, and that Death Rattle would be so nice, so you can start going wide and board. And much like a lot of aggro decks, they have difficulty with going wide, or difficulty dealing with wide boards, apart from going wide themselves and value trading, and trying to get your minions' health really up there. And, the Warlock has a lot of answers with that, with the Grim Rally and everything that they have going on that allows to give them +1/+1 buffs as they get it right in the hand right there. But yeah, on top of that, the Rogue doesn't really have much to combo with. They can play the South Sea deckhand, but then they don't have enough mana to play the Hero Power. You just, it sucks as a Rogue to not play anything turn 1. You just really want to get that stuff going.
Yeah, it does stink, but I think that London is playing this right, where they don't have anything that they really want to put forward first.
Yeah.
They would lose their South Sea deckhand immediately. Joey Bot's already on the board for Oslo Knights. It doesn't have the sleep sickness, so they'd be able to clear that no problem when you really want to use that South Sea deckhand as either a removal tool or to hit face for some damage. But already seeing Oslo Knights going really wide, and that's going to be a problem as that Miracle Rogue is not running any sort of AoE damage like the Fan of Knives.
Yeah. Fan of Knives wouldn't even really do too much, especially the moment that the Grim Rally comes into play, because that would only get rid of the Joey bot. That's 3 health right there. It does give you an extra draw, but yeah, there's not really much going in the way. The good news is that there's really only like a little bit of chip damage on the board, but you know, over time, you and I both know that that's just going to mount up over time if they don't address it. So
yeah.
Here we're going to see Coin. SIH does give them a big body on board and make it a little bit harder to kill. So I think this is definitely the most optimal option for London. It's the best of a worst situation.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. Coining out the SI7 agent not only gets a 3/3 body on board, but it does remove the death rattle capabilities of the Joey bot. So if it comes down to it, and Oslo gets a chance to pop off the Grim Rally, and it's massive, then London's going to have a lot less to chew through with not having to deal with the second minion that comes out. But now they've got a couple of choices here as well. Do they kind of want to tap and then play their Voidwalker? Do they want to play their Neverset Thrasher? Neverset Thrasher would be on curve, but I also don't know if this is like the perfect time to use it. When Oslo already has the advantage, may as well hold on to the maximum point.
Well, it's not a bad option either. It is a 4/5, so there's going to be a really big hard time to kill it. And if they want to kill it early, they're going to have to extend a lot of resources early into the game, which as a rogue doesn't feel good. Plus, on top of that, if they play a weapon, hero power, or the actual weapon in their hand, they're not going to have enough mana to play a South Sea deckhand. So they're going to go ahead and backstab, use their weapon. They're going to have to extend the durability on it, which stinks because that's like 4 damage you would rather go to face or somewhere else. And again, there's no threats being produced by London now because of this. And now later on, they're going to have an even harder time addressing everything. This will clear the board technically, but I mean, alright, with that Crystallizer right off the bat, the Grim Rally is just starting to build up to be a big threat.
I think that the move London made was okay, though. The Neverset Thrasher does do so much damage, and even though there is that caveat of it damages you too, it is a threat that London had to remove from the board, and I also think it was smart for them to use their face instead of SI7 agent, because now they still have a body on board. That 0/3 egg hasn't moved. It hasn't been able to get popped. There's nothing to activate it in Oslo's hand, and I think it's okay for right now. And now we're also seeing some really unoptimal play coming up from Oslo, because do you, at this point, really want to have to put down a Voidwalker?
Again, all of these are kind of, like, I agree with everything you're saying, Necra. I think, really, for me, it's just, like, a very, like, best case of a worse situation still going on. With just, like, the weapon being used. It's just, like, there's so little durability. And on top of that, you don't get to coin Captain Greenskin as well, so you don't get to immediately get that buff. So they're probably going to be holding on to this weapon. I don't think there's any ooze or anything in the Zoo Warlock, so they're pretty much safe to keep this alive for as long as they want. But, however, you know, leaving the sport alone, they've let the Serpent Egg away, so now the Grim Rally is going to get the full value because you're not worried about losing that Serpent Egg. You're worried about losing the Serpent. Now, look at this board. Oh my gosh.
Ooh, this is a wide board, and it's starting to get a little bit taller, and now London's really going to have to draw into the resource bank and try to do something with this. So an optimal line of play here might even be to use your SI7 agent. You also have your South Sea deckhands that have been waiting for this moment, Bemi. They have just been sitting in hand, waiting for the opportunity to either smack face or clear something. So we might see some value trades coming out here. And then also, if you don't get a chance to remove everything right now, like let's say you can't remove the Serpent.
Yeah.
You can remove the Voidwalker, but you can't remove the Serpent, or you can't remove something else. Then you have Waggle Pick for the next turn, too.
Waggle Pick for the next turn too, but as caster vision we do see the Defender of Argus in hand as well, which is going to make things even more bigger than we needed to see, because +1/+1 with the taunts as well. I mean, that's going to be a nice board. Things are just looking good for them. They are going to go ahead and use South Sea and this SI to clear the board. Does keep things alive, like you said, and they're going to have to use that weapon, not in the green skin, but it's okay. They can get the value on the Waggle Pick or just hero power themselves.
Ooh, Snip Snap though off the top.
Hmm.
It would be even better if you had one more mana just to get the wider board, because we already discussed that Rogue does have a difficult time dealing with it, especially when it doesn't really run AoE removal tools. Doesn't have sap anymore.
Yeah.
Not really a great spot for the Rogue to be in against a wide and taller board. But this is still an awkward spot, Bemi. Like, what do you do here? Tap and hope something smaller comes out?
I think you just hope there's production slowed down. But with the Defender of Argus, I think honestly this turn you Defender of Argus, because then this will also add a taunt, which again means that the Rogue must focus the resources. They're choosing the hero power. I guess they wanted to see if they could get anything value. So now they're this awkward place where now they just either play a Snip Snap by itself, which doesn't always feel great because you want to get that echo effect, or you just play the Joey bot. I think at the moment, that hero power, I actually am not too big of a fan of. And now you're only going to get one Snip Snap. And this is actually a good opportunity for the Rogue, potentially.
So we already saw London kind of start to build up some momentum, right? After getting a chance to clear so cleanly that board that Oslo was relying on for the Zulok. Now you're really seeing, like, okay, Deadly Poison coming off the top. Let's just smack face. We don't have to worry about a 2-1 and a Snip Snap on board, because what is that really going to do to us when we've already done so much damage to ourselves?
Right.
Unfortunately, I don't know if London is quite prepared to deal with the Defender of Argus that might come out here. You also have the ability to build up a little bit taller, too, because you've got your Abusive Sergeant. Yeah, I think that Oslo wasn't super prepared for a top deck of that Deadly Poison either.
No, they weren't. But I think Oslo at the moment still is okay. Just because there's, like you said, so many things to go on. They really are holding on to this Argus for a rainy day. I don't know what they're trying to save it for, because I feel like the moment you present taunts to the Rogue, it's just like, you know, the Rogue's going to be like, damn, I can't use this for face. You know, I just really want to use this for the face. I want to smack. I want to be aggressive. But, you know, next turn they might be good. It looks like they're avoiding using the Argus again, depending on what they choose to do. They're going to trade. No, they're going to Argus with the Mekaru just to get that value. So they wanted to use both Desperados for the buff. Alright, now this board's really threatening, and the only answer is Myra!
Wow. Myra's here would be very early, but you would get a significant amount of value from it. You would draw 8 cards from your deck, burn everything else. But, you know, it's like, you already saw your opponent go all in.
Actually,
Maybe
9 if they
this is
played the
time
South
to go-
Sea.
You could play the South Sea. Yeah, you could get 9 cards, South Sea and then Myra's, but you just saw your opponent go all in. They have no more resources, no more cards left in their bank, but you still have to figure out a way around it.
That's true.
And so, you know.
So maybe you just South Sea Greenskin develop your board, because now you know basically the only thing they have to work with is whatever comes off the top of their deck. Now let's look at looking at the deck list right now. One of the other dangers that could be you know, threatening them. I think the biggest threat that could happen with the draw power that the Warlock has is Solarium. Which, if they had the Solarium, they could get Leroy, and literally that would just be lethal. So I think they're going to take this gamble. They're going to clear the taunts, make the board less threatening, and take the chip damage. So this is fine. You just have a bunch of 1/1s. Basically, don't get Grim Rally, you're fine.
Well, we don't see Grim Rally. We do see a Serpent Egg, though. Drawn off the top here for Oslo. They still have access to their hero power.
But Leroy!
But Leroy
Wait,
here...
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... No,
that's still short. That's still 3 short of being lethal. But, like, at this point, don't you just... Here's where it could go wrong, though. Here's where it could go wrong. Let's say Oslo decides to go all in, right?
Yep.
They would get 12 damage onto London's face. But then the clapback from London is, let's use that Myra's Unstable element. If you ignore my greenskin, I could draw lethal from that Myra's.
That's true.
So,
you could get double Eviscerate. And that would be the combo right there.
Yes. So that is what we would be kind of nervous about. However, if you also look at it, Myra's Unstable would take up 5 mana next turn. And then what are you left to work with? 3 mana? That might not be enough.
Well, I definitely don't see the green skin living this turn. Like, I feel like you're just going to trade it either way. Hold on, Oslo. What are you doing?
Are you sure?
Alright, they're going to take the gamble. I'm not a big fan of this, but you know what? For the sake of food, I'm with it. Oh, that's
Well,
one
there's just
eviscerate. So literally, if they just Myra right now...
No, they don't even need that.
Oh, you're
Eviscerate
right!
is right off the top, that's it! Wow.
I didn't realize that, but you're absolutely right. Wow, okay.
Right off the top.
Here we
that's
are
really
thinking we
illegal.
needed combos, so we just need the straight up vanilla eviscerate. Okay, well,
I mean,
London. I mean, they literally that was a coin flip. You either one was going to top deck or the other.
Yep. Well, this is actually a really good position for London. Now they don't have to play against the Zoo Warlock anymore, and they can see if they can re-roll another lethal with that Tempo Rogue. We are playing Last Year Standing, so London is locked into Miracle Rogue until Oslo Knights comes up with some sort of answer to it.
I mean, honestly, with the aggressive lineups that we have, this could be fine. I think maybe Oslo. I'm gonna double check again what they're. You might play just the Quest Shaman because there's. I don't know. No, let's look.
I almost kind of want to go Combo Priest here if I'm Oslo. Just try to get that win out because Combo Priest can do a lot against the Quest Shaman and the Murloc Paladin. It actually has like a decent rate against it.
Yeah.
Because like with Murloc Paladin, there's still that chance that you don't draw your... What is it called? The oh my goodness.
What is it?
Now I'm having blanks.
It's okay. We all forget names.
Your prism. You don't have your Yes, prismatic lens.
Prismatic lens. There you
That's
go.
what I was looking for.
Okay, so that's a good. That's true. While stats and win rates come into play, I'm thinking about like who can punish more. I feel like maybe the Quest Shaman can punish a little bit more because you do have the weaponized Wasp that has the hero power. You have the MC Tex that can punish for going wide on board. There's a lot of stay that you can take away from London, but we're about to see. And Oslo's choosing to go for the Quest Shaman. Okay.
There you go. Well, you said it. I think it's like I'm just trying to look at the matchups and
No, yeah,
Quest
like
Shaman has a good ability against the rogue too.
it's
I
just
think
slow
that-
to build up, which is I think why
Yes.
it makes a lot. Like I 100% agree with you with the priest. That's a sound option because it's easier and more quicker than the Quest Shaman to build up the response to rogue. But I think thinking of just like the possibilities. You know, there's more possibilities because you can also develop a lot of lackeys and you can also set up, you know, you can get your ethereal lackeys, which gets you spells to board clear with like Lightning Storm and a bunch of other board clear spells that Shaman has, or you could get the Kobold lackey that does 2 damage to low health minions because there's not a lot of high health minions. So I think this is their value, and also there's some AoE, like we do see the Sandstorm Elemental coming in here, and that's going to also be very helpful with the effect of just doing 1 damage across the board, or just additional if it builds up. So
Could be 2 though after they get this battle cry generator going with Quest.
Exactly.
But I gotta point out how well of a curve Oslo has right now. I mean, you could just put out Evil Totem and what is it? Just start generating.
It's a
your
thing.
lackeys.
It's like, hey, I don't know what you're gonna do, but I'm gonna call over my friends.
Yeah.
Look how many friends I have.
Look at the position that London is in, though, too. They have a ton of removal tools in their hand. And the card that I was looking for before was not Sap. It was actually Vanish. That just doesn't exist in the game. But wow, Mutate right off the back there.
That's a high health minion.
That is a high health minion, and that is going to be a little more difficult for London to remove this turn. They could still coin Backstab SI7 agent, but do they really feel like it's worth it when you aren't getting anything for the lifesteal on Oslo's side? But like there is a potential to buff. You do have lackeys that could buff it, so maybe you do go for the clear and just try to get that SI7 3/3 on the board.
That's true. They don't know what lackey it is. It could be a buff lackey. We do see ourselves that it is a Kobold lackey, so it's just going to do 2 damage and that's it. But yeah, I guess they feel the pressure. Interesting. It feels the worst when you're wasting resources on things that were made out of nothing. Like, this was literally a 2/4 for 0 mana. So this is like, the worst feeling in
gotta
the
do
world.
something
And now you have another totem. This is so good. I mean, Shaman's looking pretty strong right now. Like, all this stuff, the backstab, the deadly poison, the SI agents even, it just does not feel good to use this stuff.
It doesn't, but at the same time, what what
You have to fight
Oslo
for board.
has in their hand, it really relies on being able to stick on the board.
Yep.
And if you can't get it to stick, then it's not getting value. So London right now has the removal tools that they need in order to, help out the situation. Lackeys just give you so much pressure.
Lackeys do give you a lot of pressure, that's correct. And, Leroy just slowing down the production right here. They are going to drop SI, be able to go to the face. They do, like you said, they want to fight for this board. They do want to have something that just basically, they want to basically get the initiative. Now this gives them the initiative to say, hey, okay, now how are you going to respond to this 3-3? Because I'm just going to keep smacking you in the face. I can see potentially a lot of resources to you. They might just drop another Evil Cable Rat just to see if they get another Kobold Lackey, because then basically the Kobold Lackeys will clear this. There'll be enough mana for that. I mean, there's still a lot of ways of addressing this stuff. So we'll have to wait and see what happens here. I don't know. There's a couple of options where basically you just play another Evil Totem and you just go ahead and build another lackey, and you just start building up your lackeys and stuff like that, and just complete the quest. Because pretty much they're close to completing the quest here for the shaman.
Yes. And the shaman finds its value in the quest archetype of getting that quest finished, and then being able to double those battle cries. Because most of the quest shaman deck is very inexpensive, so why not get a chance to double that value by having the quest activated? You will almost always be able to tap and then get that extra value. But this is a great way to clear it, and it puts so many minions on the board. Remember, we talked about this. When your opponent goes wide, the rogue suffers.
Yep. And I like this a lot. Putting the taunt and health buff on the Kobold Lackey keeps the 2-2 alive, and this is going to look pretty good. And, now, like, basically, you're just, it's almost like a kick in the teeth to the rogue, where it's just like, you gotta take care of this Lackey if you actually want to do anything. You're beneath me, rogue. Come on, I want to see what you got. And now they got 4 mana, it's pretty awkward. They could use deadly poison on the one durability weapon, which would stink, but it would activate the SI agent. Potentially, I don't know. And like,
they're thinking about it.
They're thinking about it hard. I'd say you just play Life Drinker and go, but then basically something dies, and then then you don't have the initiative. Oh, this stinks. Turn 4 stinks for the rogue. Oh no.
I think they are gonna go for it. At least if anything, they're not gonna hit face. You go ahead and just use the deadly poison, even if you have 1 charge left, and then that activates your SI7 just to clear out the Sandstorm Elemental. Now, though, looking at Oslo's hand, they're close to finishing that quest, but they also have Evil Cable Rat, and they. Oh wow, that's a great pull.
This could be like so many options in the back of their hand. This is big board clear.
Lackey's strong for 1 mana.
Oh yeah, that's why Rogue was so strong for such a long time. There was that one time where we had Lackey Rogue, where it was just, Spirit of the Shark, just get your Lackey Recruiter, and then you're just pretty much getting 4 lackeys, and they would pretty much be your entire deck.
Yeah, the Lackey Rogue was very strong, but it just didn't have the sustain. Is why people are going back to this Miracle archetype that we're seeing London run.
Oh yeah.
But it is difficult when you're in this position and you still don't really see the pieces that you completely want. Hold on to the sap though, hold on to the Leroy for sure, but taking out that taunt is going to allow that 7 damage to just go to face. And Craft the Greenskin was a great draw to be able to enable that.
Big draw indeed. Looking at this, they're gonna be done with the quest, so that's pretty much it. So it really does depend on, do they want to play do want to play their innkeeper, just to get the extra lackeys in the hand, but we'll wait and see. Probably not. Okay, what is this? At the end of turn, deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. Sure, why not? Alright, well, Battlecry Striker tries. They're just going to go ahead and just use the Ethereal Lackey here and get potential board clear. That's Rain of Toads. That's pretty good as well. That's like 3 2/4s on the board. Haunting Visions does give you another shot at that as well. And you're not worried about the Van Cleef, so you're not probably going to go for the Hex. They're going to go for, again, Bloodlust!
Wow. Not gonna take it though. Taking the Frost Shock instead.
I respect that as well.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this right now for Oslo really is about clearing the board. Remember what happened last time? 14 damage out of nowhere ended up being lethal to Oslo. So what they're doing right now as a team is trying to mitigate that one-hit knockout potential as much as possible. But look at that. Deadly Poison plus the Leroy.
6 plus 9 is not
That is
lethal,
15
but that
damage.
is gonna be
Not
it's
lethal.
it's gonna be knocking on your door, but
It's very close. You have Life Drinker in there too. You can't play it all at once, but Life Drinker would add an additional 3 damage. But this is a really tough position for Oslo to be in, because what is the answer to knowing that you're getting low is to put out Rain of Toads, but then you're overloading yourself for 3 mana crystals, and that's a lot of momentum to give up at this point in the game.
yeah, I agree. That's definitely a risk that you have to account for, but you gotta kind of value it. It's like, okay, if I play this, what am I waiting for while I go for this kind of handicap as I go for 3 less mana crystals, and what do I deal with, like 4 or 5 of them? So I think that's a good thing to account for, Necro, for sure. I think we're just gonna have to wait to see what they top deck here. They are gonna commit for the Leroy. They are just gonna say, if you have no way to clear this board, which we know you don't in your deck, we hope that Ethereal Lackey got you something good.
Yeah. They're gonna need to do some type
Weaponized
of taunt here,
Wasp.
but look at how many tiny minions they have on their board that's taking up that space for Oslo. They will be able to at least clear out the Leroy, because bless the balance mechanic there of giving 1/1 whelps to your opponent after using Leroy. But any taunt right now that London can't clear could just get sapped away.
True. Well, I think at the moment, though, they do have a lot of ways. I think they do want to make this board smaller, but they have Weaponized Wasp would go ahead and clear that. They're going to start hitting face. They have the lackeys. I think
Goblin Lackey.
they're really hoping that this totem can get them another Ethereal Lackey. So
Some type of spell here would be good, but we are going to see that Rain of Toads come out, and
they want to
that's
keep the
kind of
totem alive.
last
That's their
resort.
value. That's their resort is
Yeah.
to just hope get Ethereal Lackey from the totem. This will keep the totem alive, in
They
theory.
got Taunt Totem though.
Zephyrs, but it's not online.
No, not yet.
Because they have both Eviscerates in the deck!
Yes, they won't be. Zephyrs won't be activated until Myra's probably gets played.
Yeah.
But this is such a tough position. London had so much momentum, but didn't realize that Oslo had that Rain of Toads that they discovered.
It's hard.
So
it's hard to play
how-
around that.
Yeah, what do you do? Because you only have 1 sap in your hand that could deal with one of the 2/4 toads, but that could also just come out, and then you also grabbed a taunt totem off of the evil totem, and so that is going to help as well to keep up this wall between your face and your opponent's smart. So crazy.
Huh. Okay.
Just going for the sap already.
Sure. I guess. That's like 2 less damage to worry about.
That is true. Had Oslo picked Bloodlust, this game would be over.
Yeah, it would. It really would. Or very
It'd be
dangerously
over.
close to it. It would be knocking on that door again.
Yeah.
Knock knock, who's there? You're dead. Now, this is, okay, so it's like Shaman. This is one of the weird things about Shaman, being a Shaman main myself, is like, I have so many options, but they don't answer a lot of things because things have slowed down. So now it's like, now I have this buffet and smorgasbord of what do I want to play? What do I value more keeping in? Do I value going wide here? Because you could play former champ and get a 5/5 on the board, and that would definitely speed things up. And you can get, but you don't want to play too many minions because you want to hope that you can play your lackeys while you're at it, and then your hand's going to get starting to clear up. So I think just they're going to play this weapon-wise Wasp. Shooting go wide with the board here. So if they do get Ethereal Lackey, they won't be able to play it unless they trade. And all there is Zephyrs in hand. I mean, I guess this is a win-win situation. But, yeah, interesting that they choose to go wide on board here.
Ooh, Waggle pick.
Not a good pick.
Yeah, if there wasn't that massive wall of taunts in their way, Waggle pick would have been able to finish the job. But
Quite
you're
right,
still like this is why Quest Shaman is so strong though, because if you end up using Heart of Vernal, then you do get a chance to double your battle cries, and that's why you're seeing weaponized wasps like just so buffed up right now. You got Zephyrs, which still can't be activated because the eviscerates that are left. What a tough position, but like, what else could London have done? Because you just have to go face.
Nothing. This is. It's the Ethereal Lackey is all I'm gonna say. It's just that like unpredictability that it had, that you can't just play around. You have to just go with plan A and then just see if you can adjust to it. And just getting that Reign of Toads has been such a huge play for them.
They also still have one more Toad because of the sap earlier. But we're looking at Oslo calculating their damage right now. That's gonna be a significant chunk. 9 health left here for London. And that's really all they have to do. They don't have space on the board, but they also have that totem that's been sitting there that London just can't touch. But Eviscerate! That's it! Zephyrs! Eviscerate! Face! That's lethal! Oh my goodness! They actually pulled this off! Bebby's speechless right now. You can't see their face, but I can. And yeah, that was a jaw-dropping moment for sure.
You know, Zephyrs is supposed to give you the one card that you wish for. That's...
Sometimes it just activates the card that you need. Whatever. Zephyr's coming in clutch. I've never seen it used that way.
They just played it just to go like, here's the magic card that we needed. Ah, look at that. It's like almost like pulling a coin out of somebody's ear. I almost feel like I misplayed. I feel like I tunnel vision. I was like, wow, if they don't get eviscerate, you know, they're dead. But like, I didn't even think about that. I just thought like, wow, that's a big board of minions. But
I kind of thought that was what you were hinting at with like, oh, but there's still 2 eviscerates left in the deck.
Oh no,
I can't work because there's 2 eviscerates left in the deck.
I thought that's all I was thinking though. I wasn't thinking beyond that. You know what? I should have not said anything that sounded cool, but that is, you know, I'm gonna take it on. I'm gonna take it on the chin. Okay.
No, it's so funny. Sometimes you have those surprise moments though, where that you aren't thinking about, and that's why the game of Hearthstone to me is so fun.
That's true. Well, wide board, I guess, won't do the job. You can't avoid spells with taunts, so there we go. Match point going over to London. Oslo back against the wall with this combo priest, and while the win rate may be a lot higher, and they do have the one card that is ideal, which is the injured Tolvir. So that's a taunt, that's something to build up, you double the health, you're going to be looking good. I mean, they have a lot of stuff going in for them. They have Circle of Healing, so they're going to get the injured Tolvir back up to full, so this requires a lot of stuff, but... I don't know.
Well, if there's any deck that I think can get the reverse sweep for Oslo, I do put my money on that combo priest. And it's not because, like, oh, win rates are better, whatever. Like, in my own journeys as a Hearthstone player, the one deck that I have the most trouble against happens to be that combo priest, because you just never know what they're holding on to. They always have to have, like, when you're looking at the win condition for a combo priest, it's an equation, right? Calculating how much damage you need to have on board, what needs to stick, what cards you have to draw, what pieces of the puzzle you need in order to get that machine going. But as your opponent, you have no idea what they have in their hand. Like, London has zero idea that some of the pieces of the puzzle are already there. And look at the 4-drop that they just pulled. This could get out of hand very quickly if London doesn't have the removal tools or is prepared for turn 4 or 5.
Yep, they just used their backstab, so basically that is one combo activator gone. And they don't have the coin either, so that's another combo activator that they did not get. Unlucky there, you can't really prepare for that. Yeah. Necra's a lot smarter than me. They're on the ball with this. They're right. You know, they really think Rogue has nothing to activate, audience. So, at the moment, this is looking really good. Circle of Healing, just to make sure that the Tolvir stays alive. I like this a lot. That is a life drink that they cannot play, and that's not going to do anything. Yeah, this is... Whew. Do you just Shadow Step to activate the SI? But then you don't get the value because of Hero Power. And it's just, there's that awkward healing phase. Injured Blade Master is going to come next turn, and... Necra, you're right. There's just... No, I'm looking at this, and I'm trying to, like, talk about the statistics in my head. This is not looking pretty. You did!
Does some nutty things. But I always feel like they happen against you, but never for you when you want them to happen for
Wow,
yourself.
big mood. Why are you attacking me?
It always happens that way. Like, oh, my opponent gets to get off this cool combo,
Yeah.
but when I try to play it, never.
They always say it
Potatoes.
looks easier on TV.
It does look easier on TV. These players make it look so easy. But as a reminder for those of you watching at home, this is a team-based tournament. So there are a couple of players on both Oslo's team and London's team that are communicating about every single move they want to make, what the win conditions are, and I actually think that this has a lot of benefits for playing Hearthstone, because then it's not just you that has to think about all of these things at once. You can rely on your teammates to help you through those tougher moments of what do we do here?
Yeah.
So like when Oslo's looking at their board, what do you think they're thinking about?
Oslo's probably thinking to themselves, wow, we're pretty lucky. We only have to... Ooh, are they going to play Ahmed? I guess they want to start getting the res pool, nice and early. Yes! Actually, yes, coin Ahmed, because literally at the end of the turn, it's just going to bring back this Tolvir. Okay, topsy-turvy early. That means that basically when they do... They need... Okay, so now they're really just hoping that this inner fire is going to come in very soon.
Sap!
It is sap, but that means that they don't... Well, actually...
No, just get rid of
They
it.
Shadow Step the South Sea deckhand, so actually they would have a minion on board, but would it be enough?
I wonder.
They can't kill Ahmed
Why would you
right
sap? Would you sap... Wouldn't you sap and get rid of the injured Tolvir in the res pool?
now. Well, okay, so Ahmed is going to increase the health of every minion that you summon while it is on board.
Okay.
If you really want to mess with Oslo's momentum, you could take a very risky move of sapping Ahmed now and waiting for some of those removal tools that will help you chew through a minion that has 7 health.
Could slow
So
protection
that's why
down.
we're gonna see the sap, yeah. And looks like we're actually just gonna be...
Tempo Zephyrs?
Wow, okay. Tempo Zephyrs. That is a choice.
Oh no.
That is a choice.
Okay. Never mind, it's not the one. I was thinking the cycle ball. Alright, so... Just gonna play Ahmed again, but... Myra's coming off the board. That's pretty big, actually. That does mean that they will be able to get the 9 cards if they want to start doing this. Because really, there's a reason why you said, Necra, this has a high win rate. It's basically, Rogue's got to do or die. And if Rogue doesn't do this now, they are kaput.
They die.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I gotta look at the deck list really quickly.
Mhm.
The only way that I really see Myra's working in this scenario to remove the Ahmed is if Myra's pulls the second copy of Backstab. We saw Backstab really early on in this game, and I just don't know if the chances are there. It's super risky if they decide to go for the Myra's now.
Well,
because it's gonna eliminate all their gas.
it is, but it's... I think... What I'm thinking about... Yeah, it is really... The deck is really big right now, so they might want to thin it out, but they have no real way of drawing stuff except for Phantom Lives. But I'm thinking... What I'm thinking about the Myras right now, I'm not thinking about getting rid of that Ahmed. I'm thinking about just getting some things that smack in the face, and this is a lot of good stuff drawing into the hand. Both Eviscerates, the other South Sea deckhand, a Life Drinker, a Waggle Pick, the Evil Miscreant as well, and then they have the Edwin. These are... There's a good amount of stuff that they can work here with 6 mana.
There definitely is, and I don't want to take away from that, but they haven't been able to remove that Ahmet yet. And if they are unlucky with the choice that they made here, then Oslo's going to have the opportunity to really beef up some of these other minions. I'm looking to see what kind of taunt this priest specifically is running.
It's injured Tolvir.
Forgive me if I take a bit. There is the injured Tolvir, yeah, but...
I think that's the only taunt they have. It's Injured Tolvir and Injured Blade Master. Those are the ones that they really work on. The only other taunt, and I'll look at this with you, is I think... No, that's the only taunt they have. Yeah, it's just the Injured Tolvir.
Mm-hmm.
The rest is just draw power like Acolyte of Pain and Northshire Cleric. Those are like some of the other minions. They do have things that are also going to be able to heal stuff. So now they have both things healed, looking pretty good. Fatigue's going to hit the board. Literally, they're... Necra, I think they're ignoring the Ahmet. They're just like, you know what, guys? I'm just going to go face. I'm going to mind my business. I'm going to punch you in the face. You do whatever the hell you want.
Well, calculating the damage here... London has enough. They have another Eviscerate in their hand.
Yep.
They have extra weapons. They have the Life Drinkers too. So regardless of whether Oslo does draw an injured Tolvir, it's not going to matter. All of that damage is going to bypass face, and we already have a guaranteed 10 damage. 10 damage from just cards alone in their hand that will be able to get that job done. So we haven't seen Ahmet be super powerful here yet. That is a surprise, and that is a little scary.
It is a little scary. Let's see. So let's see. 4 plus Life Drinker in hand. Well, they're gonna hear. No, they won't hear power. They're gonna extra arms and just go straight for the face.
I think they have to hero power.
They have to hero power. Yes, let's see. 4 because they got to account for. Well, they already know that one of the Eviscerates already happened, but they don't know if there's the deadly poisons. So that's the mystery about Rogue. It's like, what's in the hand? You don't know what's going to be enough buffs or it's going to be a lot of junk. So let's see. Life Drinker. I like the idea of Life Drinker, Evil Miscreant in hand because that could give you 2 Cobalt Lackeys, which does an extra 2 damage, which pretty much would guarantee the lethal. Or they might just go Weapon, Evil Miscreant, so that way they have 4 damage in the hand when they go into the next one. That almost guarantees them lethal next turn.
I think you go for Life Drinker, and I think you either use your Eviscerate here now, or you go for the Evil Miscreant, yeah.
Well, you want to get those Candle Lackeys, and they could also get you something. Witchy Lackeys could help evolve into something with charge.
Potentially, yeah.
Let's see. A 1 level. They could evolve the Life Drinker twice, and that would potentially get them Leroy or Argent Squire. Argent Commander, excuse me.
Well, I don't think that any of those minions are going to live. If Oslo has anything to say about that.
If they have anything to say about that, yeah.
Well, we have a Light Warden. We also have another copy of the More Arms. Just make Ahmet into a tentacle monster. It's fine. But I think you need to eliminate what's on London's board. And so Oslo right now is figuring out the cleanest way to do that. Try to get those value trades, because if you leave any sort of damage, you might get surprised by the burst potential that a Miracle Rogue does have.
Yeah.
We're already staring it down. We've been excited about these last few turns because this is really the end of it. This game's gonna be over in 2 turns.
In the light's name.
Okay.
That was the most optimal way to do things.
I agree. I'm just looking at this and I'm like wondering. Let's see, 4 plus. Ooh, actually.
You can Waggle Pick Life Drinker. I think you have to use the waggle pick here, but also if you don't put anything on board and you don't actually deal with what Oslo has built, this Miracle Rogue's end is done. They don't have enough damage with the 8 mana that they have to waggle pick, life drinker, and eviscerate here. But the life drinker is going to help bring them up to 20 health. But that must the life ward on board
of
too.
course, I keep forgetting
Oh my
this.
gosh.
I totally forget. I remember so many control shamans or Shudderwalk shamans would kick themselves in the face because, you know, they had the rain.
Absolutely incredible. Like, that was just such a big brain play. And the fact that they were able to get Tundra Rhino off of that, RNG must have been in their favor today. That's all I can say.
I have
that
no
was
idea.
That was brilliant. Excellent. Wow, we actually saw Miracle Rogue take a 3-0 in the tournament. I never thought I'd say that.
I never thought Rogue would be like what it once was again, but apparently here we are, just Rogue being so defiant. But I mean, back in LHS's in the DreamHack days, that would have been such a convincing thing to just have in your deck list. Like, almost everybody would bring Rogue, and this was the reason why, is because when you go to LHS and you bring these aggressive formats, or you bring up these aggressive lineups, that's basically just saying, you either use it as the last one to get the reverse sweep, or you just queue up right now because it brings you to match point like that. So that is just something really that we take into account here. And you know what we also take into account here, Necra?
What?
We take account for our sponsors that have always been so
we do.
supportive and very nice. So first off, we want to give a big thanks to GameStop, bringing powers to the players, and is literally the best GameStop in the world. It's the best game store in the world. It's literally got all these cool things. Necro, I don't know about you, but I love pre-orders. I love getting cool stuff before pre-orders. Have you pre-ordered Sword and Shield yet?
I have. I've pre-ordered Sword and Shield. I've also pre-ordered Link's Awakening. I also have Luigi's Mansion on pre-order.
Yeah.
And I love that GameStop has the ability to do that. Because now I know I'm confirmed to have a copy, and some stores are even so great as to have those midnight releases. So you could just go, you could pick up your game, and you could be the first person in your region to play it if you were that lucky.
And on top of that, they just get cool stuff that, you know, you get, like, to use. Like, when you pre-order Sword and Shield, there's a beautiful steelbook that only comes when you pre-order it. So it's so cool.
Yeah.
If you're a big collector, GameStop is such a great way to do it. And on top of that, you can earn points and save money by using up their Power Up Rewards program, which is $15.99 a year. A year! So literally, with a year, you get points, you get deals, you get great information, getting emailed once a month from the Game Informer. And on top of that, you get 10% off used games. And, like, literally that could mean, like, a game that was just bought yesterday and then dropped back because they don't like it. So then basically, you get 10% off a mint-condition game. That's amazing. Holy smokes. Yeah. And
it is a great program, and I'm always I've been a Power Up Rewards member for like a couple of years now. And I love that you can also get extra points for doing trade-ins. So if you're done with the game and you just know that you're never going to revisit it, just trade it in. That'll get credit for other games that you can also pre-purchase. So it's great. I love GameStop. I love that they're supporting grassroots Hearthstone. And we also have a couple of other sponsors we need to give some shout outs to.
Yes, we do. We need to get in fit with 24-hour fitness, which they have beautiful plans around. They also have a sponsor quest that if you use their sponsor quest to check out their website, you get a free 3-day pass to just work out for free in their beautiful facilities across 13 states with 400 plus locations. Oh my goodness, that's so many locations. That's a lot of locations, Necra. And
it's a lot of locations, and it's actually great if you have a traveling work schedule like myself or like Femi, because if you're done, if you're off on a trip, just go to another location for 24-hour fitness. Your membership will transfer. You just have to have the card. So if you're busy and you're always on the go, try out the membership for free and see what you think, because you might like having a gym open to you all the time wherever you are, because it does have so many different locations.
Our body clocks are so different because of every gig we get under the sun. We work in Australia, Europe, and Asia. So basically, sometimes our sleep schedules are so different, but we want to get that grind out. 24-hour fitness. My goodness, they work for all body clocks. This millennial generation could not be without it, and you can also bring a friend as well, and you get a free day without it too. There's so many free opportunities. And speaking of free, I like free money, Necra.
I I like free money too.
Oh my gosh, well, you can donate money for free by doing the sponsor quest on our wonderful sponsor, Matcherino. If you go to Matcherino and !donate, you can go to our prize pool and donate money for free using the sponsor quest. They are one of the most efficient crowdfunding esports events. They've helped provide great partnerships throughout events, esports organizations, and all the like. You can also just go to the sponsor quest, whether that be following a Twitter, retweeting a tweet, checking out a website. You donate money for free to the prize pool that you could compete in a bunch of other open tournaments. So find a tournament today or join the program if you're a TO like myself as well, and you can help contribute to the community with little to no cost. And also on top of that, you definitely want to check out Matcherino.com because they have some great stuff for you and me, Necra.
Well, if you've also done the sponsor quests, then Matcherino also acts as a donation platform. So no fee at all.
No fee.
You could just donate directly to the tournament, to the prize pool with your own money, but no fee attached. And I love that about Matcherino too. Make it really easy to buff up those prize pools.
Yeah, absolutely. As a matter of fact, I do want to say a quick thank you to Bouncy Knight, who donated $12 without a fee to the prize pool. So thank you very much.
You.
Much appreciated to that. Much appreciated, Bouncy Knight, to donate to Nations Division. If you want to find out how you donate to either House Rivalry Season 3 or Nations Division, go ahead and just do !donate. But that is going to be it from us. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to Necra and the rest of the casters for coming in and being wonderful and standing in and being wonderful and come by last minute and wonderful. And with that being said, thank you to all some players for putting on a great show. Amazing 3-0s, as we saw, but really good, hard-fought 3-0s as well. So we can't give, we can't give all the credit to them. We also need to give credit to the Oslo Knights, and also on top of that, we also need to give credit to the Amsterdam Totems for putting on a great show to give these wonderful victories to London and Brussels. So with that being said, though, that is going to be it from us. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Bemi. That's been Necra over there. Yes, I'm pointing correctly. Okay, cool. Well, with that being said, we'll see you guys tomorrow for the next set of matches.
See ya.